to the next case here. Hyatt LLC versus Deborah George, 22T3109.
You can come right up to the podium, man.
Your name, ma'am?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Your name?
Deborah George. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit hard of hearing, so.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
If I forget, you tell me to keep my
Thank
voice
you.
up, okay? All right. Mr. Katz, are you here on PIOD?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your appearance?
Andrew Cates, P78292, standing in for the attorneys of record and representing PYOD LLC.
This is your motion to set aside the default. You say I was not served paperwork. I never opened an account with Credit One Bank.
I have a little bit more information for you, sir.
Go ahead. She's hard of hearing, she told me, so let's keep our voices up nice and loud. Is it Cates or Katz?
Cates.
Okay, go ahead.
Just real quick, I came to the, I'm sorry, I'm a nervous wreck.
Don't be a wreck.
Okay, first of all,
Listen, you didn't commit a criminal act.
you'll know why I'm nervous when I tell you the whole story.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Take your time, relax.
The first time I was aware of any of this is when I received the judgment from the court. I seriously never received a summons to appear, but I will explain that in a moment. And I just knew that I've never opened this account. I've never received anything from this account. So when I filed to set aside the judgment, the company, and I thank you for it, sent me all the information regarding the account. And I found out
Don't listen.
I have an alcoholic daughter
Okay.
that's recovering now, but she fraudulently opened this account and had it in my mother's address with my name, and my mother lived with me at the time of this with Alzheimer's. So it is a true account. I've confronted her and I will take responsibility for it.
Wait a minute. Hold your daughter.
She's 40 now.
Well, first of all, they said in their there's a proof of service from a
That's how I found out. They served at my home.
Wait a minute. They said they served you.
No, it was not me.
What's your daughter's name?
I'm not blonde. Kelly. It said they served 40 something and I'm 71 years old.
Well, you don't look it. So
they said they served, it wrote it on there, 40.
yeah, she's not blonde, counsel.
5'6.5", blonde female. Well, she's 5'10", but she's the 40-year-old
All right.
blonde female, and I confronted her.
Tell me why I shouldn't set aside the default judgment. Your process server has white female, 40s, 5'6", 140-pound blonde hair. She just got done telling me she's 71. Well, she doesn't look like it. She doesn't look like she's in her 40s.
Well, thank you, but I am 71
and she doesn't have blonde hair. And she's telling me that the daughter set up this account fraudulently,
yes,
correct?
she did.
So tell me why I shouldn't set it aside.
Myself, you're asking?
No, I'm asking the
Okay,
lawyer.
I'm sorry.
I see where they wrote the description of her, and I agree it doesn't fit the person that I see before me on screen. I'm
going to make it easy for you, Mr.
Yeah.
Cates. I'm going to go ahead and set aside the default judgment. Ma'am, you have to answer the complaint. You don't have to take responsibility for this. You didn't set up the credit card account. So you go ahead, you have to file an answer.
I'm sorry, I do what?
Okay, you have to file an answer to the complaint. So you need to go through, if you look at the complaint, have you seen a copy of the complaint?
I think so.
Linda, give her a copy of the complaint without charge, please.
Yes, I will,
There's
Your Honor.
9 allegations in here. You have to go through and admit or deny. You can entitle it answer to complaint. And you can admit or deny each one of these allegations. And then you can set up, I don't want to tell, I can't really represent you here, but you can entitle your next document at with big letters, affirmative defenses. And you can add things like, this is a fraudulent account, number 1. Defendant did not open a credit card account with Credit One, Payat LLC. Okay, I don't know, I can't really represent you, but counsel, you're going to look into this. I'm going to give you, ma'am, some extra time. Motion to set aside default judgment is granted. What I'm also going to do is, I don't see an order down here, Linda.
All for you to sign.
Yeah, I want, oh, here, wait a minute. This, for some reason, she was given a civil infraction initially. I'd like somebody to prepare an order setting aside the default. Ma'am, I'm going to give you until, if you want to just print it out, Linda, I'll prepare it. Defendant shall have, but make sure you write a note on there so I don't forget. Defendant shall have until May 5, 2023 to file an answer to complaint and affirmative defenses. Counsel, I trust your office. I don't know if you said you were standing in, if you work with Mr. Rusin or not, but I trust you guys are going to look into this.
Yes, I'll be filing a report with Mr. Rusin this afternoon.
So, ma'am, you stay in touch with their office, but do file your answer and your affirmative defenses. I don't want to see you pay a penny of this. It's not your debt. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. So that's what we're going to do. I wish you well. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right.
Thank you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Hess. Thank you, Mr. Cates. Hey, take a good look at that, will you please?
Will do, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Hess. Dana Robert Walters, 22I, 6649.
Michael A. Carmen, P73824, on behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Your name, sir?
And Robert Walters.
Your client pled guilty to attempt retail fraud. I did not order a pre-sentence report. Did you have the opportunity to review not only the report, but also his criminal history? I'm talking not in Michigan, but in Florida.
Your Honor, I saw it in there. I did not review it, to be honest, no.
Okay. It's quite lengthy.
I can tell that. I did not review it carefully. No, I did not.
Is there anything that you would like to say before I sentence him?
Your Honor, just said it appeared that CDS didn't seem interested in pursuing the case for any restitution. Per the note on the front there, yellow sticky note.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
When are you going to stop this, Mr. Walters?
I'd like to say I already have.
Well, enlighten me, because I'm not real excited about doing anything here other than probably sending you to jail. You have to tell me why I shouldn't. You continue to get yourself in trouble. You're on probation to me for the domestic, right?
Correct.
I mean, at some point, you're what, 31?
Yeah, I turned 31 last month. Yeah.
Where are you working at?
I work at Thirst Parlor in Wyandotte.
At what?
Thirst Parlor in Wyandotte, cooking.
How many hours do you work?
I'm scheduled 40 hours. 35, 40 hours. Working about 40, scheduled 35.
And your record is just,
I know. I don't want to make excuses or anything like that. I don't even want to like speak out of turn, you know?
you can say something if you want to, if you don't.
This past year or so of my life's been like most trying and most ridiculous time of my life. And that's saying something, honestly. And I'm like putting the pieces together, and it's a lot more than what I can say here, but it's coming together. Last time that I spoke in front of you, I did say it's coming together, which it honestly is. It honestly is. And I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you do, that I was scheduled to see you last month. I thought it was the 16th, but it was the 15th. And that's what I missed my court date for.
I remember.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. And that's not in my character at all. You know what I mean? If anything, I'm like here early, you know what I mean? And so like, I typically try to do my best to stay in line and all that. So, I mean, I really don't know.
When did you move back here from Florida?
Well, it's a long story, but
I just need an answer when you moved back from Florida.
oh, when I did, about 3 years ago, July 20th, 2019.
And then remind me, that was your grandmother that was
I moved in next door to my grandmother. Yes.
and she's the product of the domestic violence.
No. This is my mom.
Your mom.
She moved up here about a year or so later, and now she's supposedly moving back down to Florida after she, caused a whirlwind up here or whatever.
After she what?
Caused a whirlwind up here.
How'd she cause a whirlwind up here? I don't want to know about it. The point is you assaulted your mother. I realize I sentenced you on that. Now I'm seeing you again, and you've got a horrible record. Now you're in there. Now you're in there stealing booze. I mean, you have no idea how close you are to going to jail right now. I don't care what it is at this point. You continue to commit crime after crime. I mean, we have rules and we have laws, and we have to comply with rules and laws. And I just don't get the sense that you understand that yet, or at least fully comprehend that when you continue to commit crimes, you're putting yourself in peril of going to jail every single time. Judges we're not mind readers. We don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you this: past behavior is a predictor of future behavior. It's that simple. So, I mean, if you have somebody who's never committed a crime and now they commit one, as opposed to somebody that's had 8 of them or 10 of them or 12 of them, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that the one who has the 8 or 10 or 12 or 19, whatever convictions, is more likely to come back than the person that just got there first. It's time to grow up. I mean, I really have to put you in jail for a bottle of booze?
Not.
I need to see you doing something productive with your life. I mean, it's your life. It's not mine. It's no skin off of my nose. But I think one of the most frustrating things here is I see people somehow, some way figuring out every possible way. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm not saying the majority of people, but enough that just go out of their way to make this an unpleasant experience, and we only have so many years on this planet. Why would you want it to be unpleasant? You spend any time in jail on this at all?
I don't think so, Your Honor.
You need to get yourself some help. You need to work harder. You're 31. As I recall, when I was handling the domestic, you didn't have any money. You're not going to have any money if you don't work.
I know. And I am working, and I've been working hard, and I've also, it's neither here nor there, but it's like to be honest, like the last year or so since like these troubles have arose, I've been going through like the hardest time of my life. And I know I already, paraphrased that, but I have like seeked help, like therapy and everything. And it has been going well. That's the last time I saw you. I tried to say that to you. And so it's like, I feel like guilty. And it's also like an honest mistake that I didn't show up in front of you last time. It's not who I am. And I have been doing my hardest to be productive and progress.
Well, let's put this in perspective. You didn't show up February 15th. You weren't here again until March the 16th when you came in here on a Judge Hessen case. What's that case for?
That was a violation of probation.
And that was a violation on the assault, resist, and obstruct, was it?
Correct.
I mean, this is a great place to be, the inside of a courtroom. If you're a judge or a lawyer or a police officer. And the only time people should see the inside of this building otherwise is if they're summoned for a jury. Or, I understand, we're human, commit a minor civil infraction. And you're acting like this is a place to hang out. $250 fines, 100 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment, 5 days jail. I'm going to let you do that as follows. 3 days on the court work program. There's a $105 charge for that. 35 a day and 2 days of community service. This is going to be an expensive bottle of booze. I hope you enjoyed it. So you have 475 plus the 105 is 580. You have to have your community service done by May the 15th. Probation will set you up on the court work program. Honestly, when I go home tonight, I'm probably going to say Mr. Walter should have been going to jail. That's what I'm probably going to say to myself. Don't come back in here anymore. You want to come back in 2 years saying I'm running a Fortune 500 company? God bless you. Be glad to hear it. Not until, Mr. Walters. Let's stay out of the criminal justice system for a while. Good luck. Can you pay this today? That's okay. I'll give you time. How much?
Well, I don't know how much.
It's 580.
I cannot pay.
How
that
much
today.
can you pay today?
I have to pay my rent today.
All right,
Honestly, it's
okay.
$300, and that's about as much as I have.
That's fine. I'll give you time. You tell me how much you can afford to pay with the understanding you're going to stick to the plan. And if you can't stick to the plan, you're going to call the court and you're going to set up a time on or before a due date. And you're going to come in here and you're going to talk to me either by Zoom or in person at 8:30 in the morning. And I'm going to give you an extension. Can you pay 40 per week?
I believe so. If you break it.
Let's make it 25.
Okay, perfect.
25 per week. I'll start this beginning on April the 10th. Okay?
Okay.
If you don't have the money, call the court, come in here on or before the due date at 8:30, on or before any due date. Please don't ignore me. If you violate, that is, if you don't pay or don't do your court work or don't do your community service, I'm going to give you 45 days. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. You can go meet with probation across the hall, okay?
And I'll get the paperwork for all that?
Yes, they'll give you a copy. It's basically very simple. You're going to pay your fines. You're going to do 3 days on the court work program and 16 hours of community service.
Okay.
Okay? Lisa, take those bond conditions out, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
423-888. You can come on up here, Mr. Moss. I want to cover some things with you here. Mr. Crawford, good morning to you. Your
Morning,
name,
Your Honor.
Your name?
Michael Crawford representing the defendant.
Sir, your name?
Richard Clark.
And your name, sir?
Troy Moss.
Wait a second.
Your Honor, I think he's here on sharp.
He's here on sharp. I apologize, Mr. Moss. I had this one on the top, the other one on the top. I was going to try to get you out of here. My apologies. Okay. Mr. Crawford, a pre-sentence report was prepared, screening and assessment. The charge is possession of drug paraphernalia. He pled to that under section 771.1. The recommendation is 12 months of probation. Have you reviewed the report with them, and are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
I have reviewed the report with my client, Your Honor. There are no material additions or deletions. My client, we reviewed it. We believe this recommendation is fair. It's something he can handle. He asked the court to adopt the recommendation as presented.
Sir, is there anything you would like to say?
When I last seen you, I did go to VA hospital for treatment. I did have paperwork faxed over here. I'm not, just as proof.
I saw that you were in, I don't mean to cut you off, but we do have something from the Veterans Affairs Department saying that you were at the Dingle Medical Center between February 24th and March the 8th. So you were there roughly 2 weeks, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Now I'm in Safe Step Communities out in Westland.
What are you doing there now?
It's housing for veterans.
And you're staying there how long?
They're going to be helping me find my own house, my
Okay.
own place, and it's housing for recovery.
Good.
And I have attended a couple NA meetings since being out there.
You're tested regularly, correct?
Yes,
So
and it's a zero tolerance. They have zero tolerance for drugs and alcohol there. That's a stipulation of being there.
So, look, here is the thing. I want you to understand. Did I let you finish?
I am also waiting for Medicaid approval for Medicaid so I could take a IOP, intensive outpatient program.
That's good.
And that's it, Your Honor.
So you got printed on this case. This is the only thing you have. I'm just concerned about you, right?
I've been almost 2 months clean, and
Great.
I continue to stay clean. I'm on Suboxone treatment and willing to take counseling and everything forward to stay clean. I've eliminated pretty much every negative source of people around me.
Well, that's important. You can't be hanging out with drug addicts if you're trying to get clean. Shouldn't be hanging out with
even had to get rid of some family members.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when you're clean, you can help them. When you have done this for a sustained period of time and you know you're clean, hopefully you can go back and help them. We don't want people dying,
Right.
right?
Right.
I mean, this
Yes.
heroin,
Yep.
you got an opiate issue, and you've also, you said you're using cocaine. I mean, this at least was reported by the pre-sentence or the screening and assessment. So I appreciate your honesty. Look, we are not your enemy. We are not your enemy.
Right.
We want to help you get through this, and that's what we're going to try to do. I'm honestly not sure. I'm not going to, as you know, Mr. Crawford, 771. the most I can have somebody on probation on a 771 case and still have the case dismissed is 12 months. He really needs sobriety court, but that will mandate that the conviction be entered. I'm not going to get in the middle of what you and the prosecutor worked out here, but we need you, sir, to get yourself some help. When you walk out of here today, a lot of times from my experience, people walk out after probation and they say, I got through that one. And then they start using again. You need to make this a lifelong change.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm not even going to require that much, except with respect to making sure that you're clean.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay? You have proof of your AA attendance?
I can get it. I honestly, like, I went to the NA there. I didn't like the NA there. Just like everybody had the same story. It's just,
Well, I want you in treatment. That's what I'm going to have you do. Intensive outpatient, not
Yes.
just outpatient.
I'm in the process of having intensive outpatient
Well,
set up.
that's what we're going to do. And you spent a few hours in jail on the night of this, correct?
Say that
The
again?
night of the incident. You were arrested, right?
No, Your Honor.
They did not arrest you.
They did not arrest me.
Not even for a few minutes?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Here's what I'm doing. Have I let you finish?
My coordinator, if there's any, they said if there's any questions or concerns that, you could feel free to call Safe Step Communities. And I could provide the phone number.
Okay.
And also they have a website as well that you could get the phone number from as well.
All right. I'm not going to call them. Probation will be in touch with them.
Right.
12 months probation. Terms are you cannot leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law.
Okay.
You change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify probation. You have to report as directed. No alcohol, no illegal drugs. You're not to purchase, possess, or consume alcohol, illegal drugs. You're not to go to any bar. No marijuana either. Okay. Kratom, poppy seeds, and CBD oils are prohibited. Consuming food or other items containing those substances will be deemed a violation. I'm going to have you submit to PBTs, ETGs, and chemical testing. I'm going to make it.
What is
Hey, let me finish.
sorry.
You don't make a lot of money. I'd really like to have you do it twice weekly, but I'm not. I'm going to make you do it once weekly for 4 months. If you stay clean, I'll revert it to, I'll make it bi-weekly for 4 months. If you stay clean, I'm then going to make it monthly. I want you to attend AANA at least 3 times a week. Every time you come to probation, we'll need proof. I know what you just said. I heard you. I just want you doing that until you are in an intensive outpatient treatment program. Intensive outpatient treatment, not regular outpatient. Once you get in the intensive outpatient, you no longer have to attend AA or NA. So that behooves you to get in immediately. You can talk to probation about that before you leave. They can help you with a variety of different aspects of that. I'm just going to order 1 day of community service. You don't have any priors. You have a serious problem. You have to deal with it. I want you focusing your energies on doing that. So 1 day community service, and I'm going to give you all the way until May the 20th to complete that. Pretty lenient, really. $100 in fines, 50 costs, 75 victims' rights, $50 justice assessment, 275. Screening fee is 60 for 335. Probation fees are 240. Your total's 575. If you pay that, you do comply with all other terms, you're going to come back. We're going to give you a review hearing date. In the next 12 months, you come back in here. If you've complied, I'll be more than happy to dismiss this. The prosecutor will move to dismiss. I'll dismiss it. The main thing is stay clean.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm telling you, it bothers any judge to see people die with this nonsensical drugs, the opiates. Oh, my Lord. All right, Lisa, can you give me a date, please, for a review hearing?
March 13th of 24 at 9 o'clock.
So March 13th of 2024 at 9 o'clock will be your review hearing. You're going to go down the hall. You're going to get your review hearing date. Put that in a calendar. We're sending out notices to, or we should be anyway, sending out notices as reminders, but I want you to put it in there and assume we're not doing that, okay?
Now, also
March the
update my
13th,
permanent
hang on
address.
1 second. March the 13th at 9 a.m. Then you'll go to probation. You'll get your instructional appointment. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it today, but I hope they can so you don't have to come back.
Westland is quite a hike.
Forget Westland. What are you worried about Westland for?
That's where I live at the Safe Step Communities.
Okay, but what does that have to do with anything?
I was just saying Westland's quite the hike as far as having to come back for the probation appointment.
You can talk to them. They'll probably be, I'm fine with them doing it. You know how to operate Zoom?
Yes.
You can do it by Zoom.
Okay,
You
awesome.
tell them I said that, okay? Big
Yes,
thing
Your
is clean. Clean. Okay, you don't make a lot of money. I'll be happy to set you up on a payment plan unless you tell me, Judge, I have it all today. You have it all today?
Your Honor, my client does not. We were going to suggest a payment plan of, he can pay $50 by this Friday the 31st. He was hoping to be able to pay $50 a month thereafter.
Okay, I'll do that. $50 by March the 31st. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do because I don't want you to, there's a fee, let me see something. There's a $5 fee. If you mail the check or otherwise figure out a way to get it here, you just pay $50 beginning April the 7th. 7th is Good Friday and we're closed, so I'm gonna make it the 10th. And the 10th of every month thereafter until paid in full. Now, please listen. If you don't have the money, call the court, honor before the due date. You and I will go on Zoom at 8:30 in the morning. Be glad to give you an extension. I don't care how many times we have to do that. I'll be happy to do that for you. But don't ignore me, okay? We understand one another?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I wish you well. Go down the hall, get your notice, make your payments, get your community service set up. But the main thing is make sure that you test and you're
Yes, sir.
clean and you do your treatment, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank
Good
you.
luck. Night, I'll go ahead and do that. Mr. Clark, come on up. Richard Joseph Clark, 22B142388A. Your name?
Richard Clark.
So what's up?
I spoke with the probation officer. I'm not going to be able to afford the weekly testing because I'm averaging out of all like my bills and expenses I'm averaging about 120 left, and that's even after buying food. I have to provide my own necessities at this home. But if there's a way like I could work out like payment plan with this testing facility.
You're gonna have to
where
talk to probation. Listen,
The probation said that they was
Listen.
going by your orders.
yeah, because I'm not gonna change my order.
I understand.
I should have made this twice weekly. I did not make it twice weekly because I could see that you don't have a lot of money, but I have to make sure you're not using it. The best I can do is weekly. If after 3-4 weeks, what's that? Oh, if after 3-4 weeks, you find you can't, you can come back and talk to me, but I can't do anything on that. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'd like to help you, but I just can't.
Maybe we arrange something like how you just said in the future as far as that, if I could show that I can be clean, like for that amount of time, so we could try to do it like
You're gonna
some,
have to show me for a while.
right, I understand that, but as far as financially, for the payment wise, it's gonna be a struggle where I'm gonna be left with next to nothing to
What
live
am I
off of.
supposed to do as a judge? I don't know what else I can do. I'm not trying to bankrupt you.
I understand that, Your Honor.
Remind me, I don't have your file in front of me, and I've had a lot of sentencings and I still have some more. Remind me where you're working.
I am not working as of the moment.
You have a military pension.
Yes,
Okay, what's preventing you from working?
I'm currently trying to find a job right now.
You could have one by 1 o'clock. It's 11:21.
Okay,
I know you can.
yes,
Go find a job.
I got you.
Let's get you going.
Yes, Your Honor.
You work, take your mind off of using all these nonsensical drugs that you're using, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, come on, let's go. You can do this. I know you can.
Got you.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.